good evening once again. The INDI alliance is completely falling apart. After two mega exits, the INDI has failed its first big election test together. BJP has defeated INDI's candidate in the Chandigarh mayoral polls. But the AAP Congress duo is in complete denial. After the defeat, they are now claiming foul. They are alleging that the BJP sabotaged the results. They have even moved the High Court now. Listen to all the voices that have come in. Then Amandeep would be joining us live from Chandigarh for the perspective.
बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है कि चुनाव के पहले कल ऑर्डर जारी करके चंडीगढ़ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ने मीडिया की एंट्री बैन कर दी। तो इसका मतलब नीयत तो शुरू से ही खराब थी, प्लान तो षड्यंत्र तो पहले से ही बना रखा था इन लोगों ने कि गड़बड़ करनी है। इतने बड़े स्तर के ऊपर चंडीगढ़ के मेयर के चुनाव के लिए आज तक कभी भी इतनी वोट इनवैलिड नहीं डिक्लेयर की गई। 36 में से 8 वोट इनवैलिड, मतलब 25% वोट। अगर इनसे 36 वोट काउंट करने में इतनी बड़ी धांधली कर रहे हैं, देश का जब बड़ा चुनाव होगा उसमें तो 90 करोड़ वोट पड़ते हैं, उसमें तो पता नहीं किस लेवल की धांधली करते हैं ये लोग। और 25% क्या, अगर उस चुनाव में तो 5-6% की भी वोट अगर इधर उधर हो जाए तो सब। तो आज का चुनाव ये दिखाता है कि किस तरह से ये जीतने के लिए, सत्ता पाने के लिए किसी भी हद तक जा सकते हैं। बड़े चुनाव में लोग तो कह रहे हैं ईवीएम तो होगा ही होगा गड़बड़। मुझे लगता है ये कुछ भी करते होंगे, वोटर लिस्ट ये फर्जीवाड़ा करते हैं, फर्जी वोट डलवाते होंगे, ये ईवीएम करवाते होंगे, सब कुछ करते होंगे जीतने के लिए। और मैं ये सोच रहा था कि अगर भगवान की दया से उसके बावजूद भी अगर ये नहीं जीते और हार गए तो ये ट्रंप की तरह कुर्सी नहीं छोड़ेंगे। फिर ये मतलब उस दिन कुर्सी से चिपके रहेंगे, चाहे मार्शल लॉ लागू करना पड़े देश में, ये कुर्सी नहीं छोड़ने वाले। तो ये देश के लिए जो आज दिखा, पूरे देश के अंदर, पूरे देश ने देखा, सारे मीडिया ने चलाया, ये बहुत खतरनाक है। और हम सब लोगों को, जो लोग इस देश से प्यार करते हैं, हम सब लोगों को इसका पुरजोर विरोध करना है और इन सबको रोकना है।
आज हमारे देश की डेमोक्रेसी में एक काले दिन के तौर पे आज के दिन को लिखा जाएगा, याद किया जाएगा। और दुर्भाग्य से वही महीना है जिस महीने में हम रिपब्लिक डे मना के, अभी 26 जनवरी को रिपब्लिक डे मनाया गया, और आज 30 जनवरी को उसी संविधान की धज्जियां उड़ी मीडिया के सामने, वीडियो कैमरों के सामने। किस तरीके से चंडीगढ़ के मेयर की जो इलेक्शन थी उसको लूटा गया बीजेपी द्वारा। इससे पहले मध्य प्रदेश में ऐसा किया उन्होंने, सरकार लूटी। कर्नाटका में भी ऐसा कर चुके हैं, गोवा में भी ऐसा कर चुके हैं, महाराष्ट्र में ऐसा कर चुके हैं, नॉर्थ ईस्ट स्टेटों में करते रहते हैं। तो ये उनकी पुरानी आदत है।
All right, let's try to understand what's exactly happened. We have got the party versions, but Amandeep, who was there all day, will tell us exactly what really happened. Amandeep, over to you. Please tell us piece by piece what has exactly happened. How did those 8 votes of AAP or Congress got rejected? And what is the BJP saying about those rejections? Was it done by some official? And was it actually a rejection? Have you seen something on that count as to how those votes got rejected and the BJP won because the numbers were actually not with the BJP?
Well, absolutely, Abhishek, that the audience make them understand that what was the procedure that was being followed by the presiding officer, Deputy Commissioner of Chandigarh, as well as Joint Commissioner of MC Chandigarh. Just because this was a High Court monitored election, so everything has been recorded in the video cameras, and multiple cameras has been put in place in the MC house, and every single word and line has been recorded in that camera. And even a joint commissioner of Municipal Corporation of Chandigarh has took good amount of 45 to 1 hour time to make the voters understand what is the procedure that needs to be followed and how they should cast their votes in a valid manner. Even joint commissioner has also educate them how to cast the vote, and after that how to fold the ballot paper so that at least their votes should remain valid. Just because it was a stamp and they have to stamp on one side on one candidate, and after that the fold should be in a vertical manner, not in the rectangle manner. So they make all the voters, all the councillors, including MP, make them understand about the voting process, and everything has been recorded in the video cameras. And even 36 members, 35 councillors and one Lok Sabha member of Parliament, Kiran Kher, was present in the house, and they all are listening to Joint Commissioner, Presiding Officer as well as Deputy Commissioner. And in fact, in the meantime, when they were educating the councillors, they have also asked if there is any query. They all are here to address the queries, and some of the councillors has also raised the query, and even they have asked kindly use one pen and only put one single color pen on the table of the presiding officer, and there should be no stationery. And in fact that demand was also accepted by the officials as well. Every stationery has been removed from the table of the presiding officer. Only one blue color pen that has been shown in the video also, that is put on the table of presiding officer to sign the ballot papers and to signature other documents as well. And the voting process began. And all the councillors have voted, casted their vote, including MP has casted their vote. And then presiding officer Abhishek counted the votes, and in fact he checked the ballot papers also. And 36 ballot papers, he double checked the ballot papers, and after that he declared that 8 votes has been invalid and rest of the votes are valid. Out of that, 16 goes to BJP. Yes, Abhishek.
Amandeep, see, what I want to understand is that A, this was a High Court monitored process in which voting took place. B, the same video which you say shows clearly the process is also being used by the Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, the Chief Minister Bhagwant Singh Mann showing it to show that the presiding officer was doing something which was not above board. Whom to believe, which side to believe, and the fact that the High Court was monitoring it, does this give the weightage more towards the BJP than the INDI alliance?
Well, Abhishek, the fact is that even we have seen that video also in which Aam Aadmi Party and Congress were showing during the press conferencing. The point is that presiding officer has to sign the valid ballot papers, and in fact he also has to sign that these are the votes that are invalid just because they have wrongly casted. So he has to sign the both, and he has to separate these votes. And in that video, it was quite clear that how presiding officers are putting the valid votes aside and invalid votes on the other side. And even that was not, no one can see that. That is a fact, Abhishek, that no councillor, neither media was allowed to see that votes. But when the High Court can summon the presiding officer or the MC officials to show the entire invalid votes, so they have to show. So everything, what we have learned, Abhishek, that everything is quite transparent. Everything has been recorded in the video cameras, and the entire record of the votes and the ballot papers is also putting up in the strong room. Now all the votes, including valid as well as invalid, they all kept in the ballot box, and in fact they have been sent to the strong room. And strong room is remain under the security for 24 hours.
Amandeep.
And now when the petition has been moved by the AAP councillors in the High Court, and in fact demanding to for the re-election under the observation
for the
of
benefit
High
of
Court,
viewers,
and asking the High
can
Court
we
to
say that
appoint
when the matter
presiding
goes to the
officer
High
from
Court,
High Court
the
itself.
ballot paper, the ballot box, it would be available to the High Court to review and to see whether the process was followed or not?
Obviously, Abhishek, and in fact, the High Court has clear-cut given the directions earlier also when the petition earlier filed, and this all election has been conducted with the intervention of High Court, and the video recording, and in fact, everything should be transparent,
Okay.
and that is the reason the officials made it on everything on the camera, and the ballot papers are quite visible. And whenever Punjab and Haryana High Court is going to summon the record from the MC officials regarding this election, so they are duty bound to produce that record, and
Okay.
High Court can check the valid as well as
Fair enough.
invalid votes and how that votes has been declared invalid by the presiding officer. So that is all transparent. Nothing is hidden.
Right.
And in fact,
Obviously.
it has been recorded in the video footages
Obviously.
also. Where once the election has been over, so now
Understood.
the petition has been filed. They have done the mentioning today itself, Abhishek, and High Court
Okay.
has asked them to appear tomorrow. This has been listed by tomorrow around 2 o'clock
Okay.
post lunch. This case will
Right.
be taken up, and the first action will be taken from the side of
Right.
the High Court. They will definitely summon. They will
Okay,
definitely
Amandeep.
ask the MC officials to produce the record how they have conducted their elections. So obviously MC has to reveal each and everything in a very transparent manner, that how this entire election has been conducted against the allegations of the parties. Yes, Abhishek.
Okay, thank you so much, Amandeep. Obviously, the High Court monitored mayoral poll has all the evidence which can be produced before the respective bench when the matter reaches the court, as the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress INDI alliance in Chandigarh has decided to do. But obviously, till then, you are seeing politics. But what is important is that the INDI alliance in that crucial prestige battle failed to keep its flock together, leading to BJP, which initially did not have the numbers, sail through and get its candidate elected as mayor. But the same story getting repeated in Uttar Pradesh at a bigger scale. In UP, it's effectively end of INDI. So while the Congress party says that they are still talking to the Samajwadi Party, Akhilesh Yadav has gone ahead and released its first list of candidates for the Lok Sabha elections. And apart from giving tickets to two of his brothers and his wife, interesting aspect is that of the 18 seats announced, 5 are those seats which the Congress party wanted. So obviously, Akhilesh, so far as Akhilesh is concerned, there is no dialogue happening with the Congress on those 5 seats and possibly more. And for us to understand what's really happening, which are these 5 seats which the Congress wanted and the Akhilesh-led SP does not want to give and has already announced candidates. Let's go to Ajay Dubey. He's joining us live, I believe, from Lucknow. And Ajay, if you can tell our viewers, what are these 5 seats? Are these important seats which the Congress wanted, and Akhilesh, by announcing candidates, has said, thank you so much, but no thanks. So obviously, the India Alliance has come under in Uttar Pradesh also. What are those 5 seats which the Congress wanted, Ajay?
Definitely, it's a one-way communication done by Akhilesh Yadav, done by Samajwadi Party. Earlier, they were saying that they are part of alliance. They were saying that it is happening under India banner. But what we can see is that when they announced that there is a coalition between Samajwadi Party and Congress, Akhilesh one-sidedly announces that this much of seat we are going to give to Congress. But till now, there is no reaction out from Congress. Congress leaders, they are not saying anything. They are saying that we wanted 25 seats, but they are discussing regarding less number of seats. Now, while we have 16 parliament seats and candidates announced by Samajwadi Party, what we can see here that here in the list, Samajwadi Party gave Sambal seat to Shafiqur Rahman Park, but Congress wanted Sambal seat. Congress wanted Farrukhabad also, Khiri, Dhaurhara, Unnao, and Lucknow. Let's go to this Khiri seat. What happened in Khiri? There are 2 big faces from Congress. There is a leader called Saif Naqvi and a leader named Ravi Verma, who was earlier part of Samajwadi Party. He joined Congress few days back. Congress wanted to give this ticket to Ravi Verma, but Samajwadi Party they are making it very clear that they will not allow Ravi Verma to fight this seat, because earlier Ravi Verma was part of Samajwadi Party and few days back only he joined Congress. And then Dhaurhara, earlier Jitin Prasad, the minister of Uttar Pradesh government, he was MP few years back, and Congress was at number 2 in elections. So they want Dhaurhara assembly also. Now Samajwadi Party have given this seat to Anand Bhadoria. And let's come to now Anu Tandon. Samajwadi Party given this seat to Anu Tandon. Earlier Anu Tandon was part of Congress. So there are leaders. There is a confusion between Samajwadi Party and Congress is regarding leaders. Leaders who were part of Congress earlier, but now they are part of Samajwadi Party. So there are few seats, and in this list we can see there are around 5 seats which are under the confusion. Congress wanted to fight their own leaders over there, but Samajwadi Party one-sidedly announced their candidate from those seats.
Okay, that's interesting. So effectively, it's a dominoes which began with Mamata in Bengal, reached Bihar with Nitish, and then via Punjab, where Bhagwant Singh Maan famously said, Ek thi Congress, it has reached Uttar Pradesh, where Akhilesh Yadav says, thanks but no thanks, and no truck with the Congress, wherever Akhilesh Yadav wants his candidates, including important seats like Farrukhabad, which has been represented by Salman Khurshid, the likes of Salman Khurshid, and Unnao, and Khiri, of course, and Lucknow. So obviously, Akhilesh Yadav is clear that he is going to call the shots if at all the Congress still has self-respect or no self-respect and wants to come back and have a dialogue on that note. Thank you so much, Ajay, for giving us that lowdown on the decision of Akhilesh to announce those candidates without consulting the Congress party. INDI effectively coming undone yet again. Not the first time. State by state, it's really unraveling. We have seen in Gujarat, the Aam Aadmi Party has already announced a candidate without consulting Congress, and now Akhilesh Yadav does that in Uttar Pradesh. All right, moving on. Another one, important one, in fact, concerning India's security situation. We have gotten some fresh visuals from Ladakh of Indian shepherds in their geography pushing back Chinese soldiers at the border. Now, this is an incident which was reported last week in Ladakhi media. These shepherds have exhibited extraordinary resilience in fending off the Chinese soldiers attempting an illegal incursion into Indian territory in eastern Ladakh along the line of actual control. The trespassing Chinese troops, accompanied by military vehicles, including a Dongfeng Mengshi light armored vehicle equipped with a remote control weapon system, were spotted. Now, this location remains unconfirmed, but obviously it's eastern Ladakh. And we can see the shepherds pushing back the Chinese soldiers. So this is Ladakh, this is Indian territory, and the Chinese continuing this kind of incursion. Remember, just last week we had the Chief of Army Staff saying the situation remains sensitive, though of course in control. And now we are getting these visuals from last week where Chinese soldiers are trying to intimidate our shepherds, who bravely push them back and continue with their grazing activity. Let's go to Pathikrit Pine, strategic affairs expert, joining us over the phone on this. Pathikrit, China refuses to mend its ways. What next? How do we tackle this? Our brave shepherds, of course, have pushed back the Chinese soldiers, but I think we need to read the riot act at the Ministry of External Affairs level also.
Abhishek, first of all, we must bow our head to the valiant shepherds of Ladakh. During the Kargil incident also, we had seen in the past the manner in which they acted as eyes and ears of the armed forces and informed the armed forces about the inclusion. So this time also, they have proved, how important and critical they are. So far as the Chinese are concerned, I think India is the first country which has prevented the Chinese habit, culture, and nature of salami slicing. So in Galwan and whatever happened thereafter, Chinese have, to a great extent failed to actually materialize whatever they wanted to do in terms of having a complete stranglehold in that region. Man for man, machine for machine, India deployed over the last 4 years. And so now you may not have a very high scale of intrusion or attempts, but, with certain small vehicles, light vehicles here and there, they would try to infiltrate and would try to set up the tents. That is a typical PLA culture, and this is not something which is happening for the first time in India. They have tried it elsewhere also. But I think the armed forces have a very high level of coordination. First and foremost, with, the locals over there who actually inform in place, and the locals actually know what eventually any kind of Chinese presence does, because the Chinese, for whatever they do, the manner in which they subjugate people, they know what happened to people of Xinjiang and Tibet. So we must salute those valiant shepherds who actually push them back. But yes, it is a consistent and a persistent issue. It remains a matter of concern. And China, everything said and done, will never amend its ways unless, very strong lessons are taught to them. Unfortunately, when it comes to the Chinese, they don't learn lessons. So they know they cannot continue, they cannot afford beyond the point.
They will not, but of course the world is watching.
Continue to do these things.
Of course the world is watching, Pathakrit, and this is not going to go, it is not going unnoticed, and it's not going to go unprotested, it's not going to go unrecorded, it's not going to go without a challenge. Our shepherds can do it, our army of course is already doing it at multiple levels. On that note,